Last week on this program, former CBS News investigative correspondent Sharyl Attkisson made some rather disturbing charges. First, she claimed that some of her managers back at CBS were biased and that they blocked stories that she tried to do that were critical of the Obama administration. And then she made another pretty strong accusation. It was against a group that you may not be familiar with. It's called Media Matters. The group polices television news and the web, looking for conservative bias. And people like me get alerts from Media Matters whenever they think they've found it. There are similar groups watching for liberal bias, and there are dozens of other political groups that try to influence the media in all sorts of ways. But how successful are they? How much do groups like Media Matters influence the news you watch and read? That's what I want to talk about this morning, starting with what Sharyl Attkisson said last week. Because Media Matters, they name names whenever they think they see something outrageous. And then they try to poke holes in stories, including in some of Attkisson's. Listen to what she told me last week.
And I certainly was friendly with them as anybody. Good information can come from any source. But when I persisted with Fast and Furious and some of the green energy stories that I was doing, I clearly at some point became a target that I don't know if someone paid them to do it or they just took it on their own, but they were very much in
lockstep. That's possible? That someone would pay them?
Well, they get contributions from, yes, they get contributions
But specifically to target you?
Perhaps, sure. I think that's what some of these groups do, absolutely.
I don't know if someone paid them to do it. That's the key quote. Those comments were picked up right away by blogs last Sunday. They were also rebuked right away by Media Matters. And the whole thing was still being talked about 4 days later. There was another eyebrow-raising thing that Attkisson said to me last week, and it was this. They used to work with me on stories. To some on the right, this was proof of a conspiracy, of Media Matters being involved in the production of news. It triggered headlines to that effect on blogs all over the web. So what does Media Matters really do, and what do they not do? Joining me now in San Francisco is the founder of the organization, David Brock. David, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Does Media Matters ever receive donations and then explicitly target a single individual because of that donation?
No, we don't do that. We've never done that. I mean, our donors are funding us because they want an honest discourse, they want fact-based journalism, and they want some pushback on all the conservative misinformation in the media. That she came on, obviously made a sensational charge. That's not true. But if people knew a little bit about how we worked, I mean, I can tell you in the Sharyl Attkisson case, look, we're almost 24/7 monitoring a cross range of national political media, and she came on our radar screen in the normal course of events. There was nothing unusual about it. We noticed a pattern of misinformation in her work. We posted critiques to our website of her work, and it was all transparent. It was accurate. She never said we were wrong about anything, and that's what we do at Media Matters.
So it is true that she would use the word target. You wouldn't use the word target, but you do pursue individual journalists who you feel are inaccurate or who are biased.
Sure we do. So, right, and it's well beyond Sharyl Attkisson. We're watching, we're monitoring all of national journalism, and once we start to see patterns, we will stay on a story just like a journalist will stay on a story. And so in her case, we did stay on her story. As I said, she did not say we got anything wrong in the critiques we made. She seemed comfortable coming out here and saying that we, work with her previously. We worked with her on stories. I don't know any specifics about that, but we do work with reporters. We're a media watchdog group. I have no reason to doubt that.
On Fox News, Media Matters gets painted as the George Soros-funded group. Is he the main donor? Is it right for Fox News to basically describe it that way?
No, it's, we appreciate George Soros' generosity, but he is a major donor, but it's not a huge percentage of our budget. We have a very diverse funding base, and we're really not beholden to anybody.
So, for example, what percentage of your funding would come from Soros?
Less than 10%.
So you're saying that you have a diverse number of donors, but they all have the same interest, don't they? Same liberal politics at heart.
Sure. I mean, I think their interest is in honest journalism and a fair debate. And I think and I think our donors believe that in the vast majority of cases, if people get accurate information rather than misinformation, that's going to serve the progressive cause. Sure. And we're open about the fact that we are a liberal organization. That doesn't mean our facts are wrong.
Let's talk about what kinds of assistance Media Matters does and doesn't provide. I'm on the email list that so many other reporters are on. I see your all's emails when you notice, conservative outrage, for example, something that Rush Limbaugh says that is out of line. So tell me about the kinds of assistance that you provide.
We are sometimes a source of news ourselves. In this past week, the story of the racist rancher from Nevada. We watch Fox News, so you don't have to, and so we were seeing what was going on in the buildup of this fellow as some sort of patriot, and then when it all unraveled, in an interview with the New York Times, the racist rancher claimed he was misquoted. We were the first organization to find the videotape that showed the actual quote, and that got played all over television in the last few days. And that was obviously helpful to the New York Times. And so we can also have a constructive relationship with the press. And then I guess the third way would be we do work to get retractions or apologies from and redress of situations where we feel that something's been said that's false or wrong.
So what you're saying is it's perfectly normal and that viewers, readers, they should be aware that groups like yours do provide basically raw material to reporters, but it's ultimately the reporters who are the ones producing the content.
That's right. And, there are conservative groups that are out there also trying to influence and shape media coverage. There's nothing unusual about that. They seem to be particularly incensed about Media Matters' relationship with the media. Maybe we're doing a better job than they are. I don't know what the frustration comes from. But these sorts of groups have existed for a long time. And I think it's an important part of journalism. And I think it's an important part of keeping democracy strong that all sides are being watched.
Well, David Brock, thank you for coming on and telling me more about what Media Matters does and doesn't do.
Thank you.
By the way, one of the chief rivals to Media Matters on the right is the Media Research Center. And we tried to book the founder, Brent Bozell, this week. He declined, but we're going to try to have him on in a future week to talk about what his group does and doesn't do.